Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Game of Thrones Season 7 finale, The Dragon and the Wolf. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Chrissy, and John, and Pat, and Michelle.
Hello!
What up?
Yo.
I know a lot of things happen in this episode, but I can only think of Zombie Dragon.
Zombie Dragon.
It's cool. It was really cool.
Scary? I'm scared.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
We don't have to start at the end if you don't want to, Mike. I just
No.
had to say that's all I could think of.
I am, watching the, seeing all these pictures around of people clearing out snow from snowstorms, like, Tormund, where are you?
Yes! The meme is hilarious.
Yeah. Right now going on in chat is regrets that there wasn't a Clegane Bowl. It was
I feel that was set
They
up
were
for
like-
the Clegane Bowl.
leading up
That
to
was
it.
like when the two boxers
Yes.
are weighed in and
That's
they
the
stare
weigh-in.
each other down. That's what that was.
That was the weigh-in. You're going to have to wait possibly 2 years to find out.
That was the weigh-in.
That was beautiful.
In this corner, in the red trunks,
No.
weighing a whopping how much of armies?
I mean, I guess... I don't know. Bronn has a great assessment of the whole situation in the beginning, though. It's like, we're about to be the ones trodden on.
Time to go. Let's
like-
go, Pod.
Mm-hmm.
This is not our discussion.
No, a lot of people are thinking, let's go, Pod, before Lena Headey gets on set and, things get rough. Apparently there's a rumor that they are both Jerome Flynn, who plays Bronn, and Lena Headey, who I think that's how you pronounce her name, who plays Cersei,
Yes.
have it in their contract that they can never do a scene together.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I
heard
think
that
they're
too.
I think they're
Yes.
divorced.
Something...
Oh my god, that's so childish though. I mean, really? Like, it's
Hey,
so...
listen, I would not want to see my ex-husband at my place of work. That's...
Right, so, I'm like, as soon as, Bronn's like, come on, Pod, let's go get a drink while these fancy folk talk, and I'm just thinking, it's a trap. It's a trap, and Bronn is saving Pod because he likes Pod. Like, that's the only reason it's happening, and then... Yeah.
No traps, just a lot of power play.
Jesus. It's like, I'm Daenerys, I'm gonna show up late on a dragon for psychological effect.
You see, she flies in on Drogon, and I'm like, she better not have brought the other one. And she did, and I'm like, fuck. And I was right, Cersei now knows something happened to the third one.
Well, as Jamie put it, we don't know. It could be guarding her fleet for all we know.
Yeah, but Cersei knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cersei knows because she was
I
like,
know.
why did she also bring the Dothraki and the Unsullied and like all these people to show off all that she had?
Mm.
Just simply put all the cards on the table and said, "This is what I have against you."
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
But,
Not thinking that the Lannisters have a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Buy armies.
Well, it's
never
them having a shit ton of other people's money. This is no longer Lannister gold. This is just...
Right.
Well, no, it's theirs.
Yeah,
Eh.
but it's someone. It just popped up in chat from 7-Bit World. I love how Cersei showed up late and everyone made to make everyone wait as a power play, and then Dany does the same thing. I was just gonna mention that
Yeah.
Cersei's
And then
the one to
when
come
Dany
in late,
comes in,
like
Cersei's
you.
like, oh, how we've been waiting, and it's
We've
like,
been waiting here for some time. It's like,
Bitch, really? Because, no.
it's been 60 seconds. Calm down.
Well, she's like, fine, they'll start with I say. And then
Mhm.
Danny's like, nuh-uh.
none of that.
What happens when you put two queens in a room?
He's
Yeah.
got the larger, well,
Some king gets fucked.
But I mean, leading up to that meeting, everybody walking together, you know. The Hound and Brienne getting all like, our adopted daughter is doing well. You know,
murdering,
murdering people.
I'm not
So-
worried about her anymore.
No, she could take care of herself.
Yeah. Bronn and
that's-
Tyrion's attempting to rekindle the bromance with Bronn. They miss each other.
Still a little awkward, but you know.
Oh, the whole thing's awkward. Yeah, the entire situation is way awkward. Tyrion points it out. We're several groups of people who don't like each other.
Mm.
I don't,
We have this there.
yeah. The whole scene was worth it for me when Cersei was like, ready to shit herself in the chair when, the zombies running at her. Well, the white.
Oh, yes, that was great.
Well, I
wish
love
it,
the
like,
fact
took
that
a
the
piece
Hound
of-
literally picked up the chest like he's the fucking refrigerator delivery guy.
Got it on his back.
Got it on his back like, oh, this
World's
shit ain't anything.
strongest man.
Then it's like, all right. I thought when he lifted up the lid that something happened to him and he wasn't moving. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
'cause it was
shit,
really-
it's gonna be like just melted goo and everything in the box.
And
Like-
And then he just kicks it over, and I'm
There's
like,
a proof.
oh fuck.
I mean, it was alive in the ship. We are on the ship when they were in the harbor,
Yeah.
sailing in. So I'm thinking, okay, someone switched the box when he wasn't looking. It died somehow. And he just keeps looking, and the way he's looking in there, I'm like, okay, it's not dead. It's clearly not alive. Otherwise, he'd be standing over it cursing right now.
Yeah.
But, just look. Alright, fuck this, not working. Kick! Well, that's one effective way to show everybody, yeah, we're not bullshitting you. There are undead. This is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we forgot one other part in between. You gotta
And-
love how there was the pissing contest with the Greyjoys. Pretty much, I have your sister submit and bend the knee.
Like Tyrion starts talking, and then Euron interrupts him. I'm like, "Who do you think you are, sir?
It's like, perhaps
Yes,
you should
yes,
sit down.
please.
Sit down."
Hey, yeah, really. You got
Okay,
nothing, dude.
okay, Rockstar, go back in the corner. We'll use you later.
Homeless pirate rock star.
Homeless pirate rock star.
Pretty much.
That's his aesthetic.
Yeah. Faces of shock and fear, though, and Qyburn with just like, holy shit, so this is how proper necromancy's done.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want one of those.
I
Mine
wanna
isn't
learn."
quite as good. I have
Like-
the old model."
He's holding the hand and looking at, like, the wriggling torso, and it's just looking at it like, how can I do this?
How
That's
does this
what-
work?
That's what I was joking. I'm like, he's looking at it. The articulation is magnificent.
And I like how John was like, he was, lit it on fire, stabbed it with the, but it seemed like a very, like a PowerPoint presentation almost, the way he was just like demonstrating it.
It pretty much was a PowerPoint presentation. Just like, this is your standard undead soldier. This is how you kill it. Any questions?
Necroboner!
Qyburn had a necroboner for sure. Jesus Christ.
And then on top of it, they're like, oh, well, how many are coming at us? I don't know, 100,000 plus?
It's like 100,000 at least.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And it's like, this is how you kill them. This is how many are coming. Any questions? Yeah, can they swim?
Oh my god.
I mean, now
I laughed so hard when he got up and left.
we know now it was a ploy. I honestly thought he
Do
was
we?
being true to...
But here's the funny
That's what Cersei says. Cersei says she planned it with Euron, but Euron could also be like, "That's a zombie, bye." Like, I believe either side of that.
But I love the fact, too, that he's like, oh, it can't swim. Like, oh, it can't swim. But it can walk underwater. It's undead. It will just come back up on shore.
But at that point, I mean, we've seen stuff like that in The Walking Dead. Zombies basically lose their effectiveness.
Mobility, yeah. They,
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yes, they can do that, but then they
Hang 'em, then
kind
just
of
work into-
become
Meh.
useless.
Well, I mean, It's even more unrealistic just because, like, what, are you just going to live on the boat for how long?
Well,
He's
that's,
almost
Putting
a
us thing
pirate,
out there?
but that's his
He's
other
almost
point.
pirate. He's got it.
He's gonna go back to the Iron Islands, and they're
What the
gonna,
hell?
you know, like, they're gonna go
There's
out.
zero resources.
Right, you're gonna go out there, wait out winter, and then what? You know, I'm going back to my island. You should go back to yours, and when winter's past, we'll be the only ones alive. Okay, what if the winter lasts absurdly long? What if, you know, winter passes, you go back and you find an entire continent of millions of zombies now?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta deal with 100,000
Fear the
plus.
Walking Dead.
Well, kind of.
Just be Fear of the Walking Dead and just be on a fucking yacht for a while.
Yeah.
Great
That
points
for a while.
happening in chat
That
right
didn't
now.
even last very long.
Just like anything, supplies and everything
You
is going to
fish.
get limited.
I mean,
Oh,
there's some amazing points going on in chat. We got Daniela, like, you know, Euron's all my sword, my big dick, all words, yeah. But, Night King is smart. He'll build ships and sail. He'll figure it out.
He doesn't need to build ships and sail. If I'm sorry to bring up, you know, jump to the end of the episode again. That fucking dragon can probably take out every person on the Iron Islands without breaking a fucking sweat. Which it
Yeah.
doesn't sweat, because A, it's a dragon, and B, it's a zombie.
unless they build one of those giant trebuchets,
Yeah,
like in King's
But
Landing.
here's the
under-
other thing. Nobody knows that they have that dragon yet.
Yes, of course, of
No.
course.
And the reaction when they see it flying over is gonna be, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Well,
there goes that plan.
I mean, this whole thing seemed to be going well. Like, Cersei's just like, yeah, you know, he should be scared. He's a little bitch for leaving. And I accept your truce, as long as he, you know, extends it.
Mhm.
Like, and he stays neutral, doesn't pick sides when this is all over. And I'll trust him, because he's Ned Stark's son, you know. His word is his bond.
and
like-
he can't do it.
And his word is his bond, alright? Like, can't do it, I'm sorry, I already pledged myself to her. So... I just love how everybody glares at him at that point.
Like,
Oh,
It's
he's
like, we were so
Lied.
close!
I love how
He's
everybody's
so
like,
loyal.
how can you just not fucking lie? Just lie.
Because he's that truthful and that
Yeah,
loyal.
well, we know that, but that's
But
what
again, it's
everybody's
not
saying.
only
is just
that.
fucking lie.
No.
But it's not only that. Like, the position he put the North in at that point
Mm-hmm.
would be bad if he lied.
Very true.
gives a shit. She's not going north.
Yeah, no, she's
you're
not.
right.
So she lied, but, you know.
I mean, the whole thing just... Hey, it set up an amazing scene between Tyrion and Cersei.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
It's like,
No!
I was on
like,
edge.
alright, that's it. I gotta go talk to my sister alone. She's like, I'm the one being honorable, I should go do it. No, she'll definitely kill you.
Yeah,
Like-
right?
I have a chance of walking out of there alive. Slim chance, but a chance.
It's like, oh my god, please don't die. The whole time.
Oh,
You
man,
did
that
die.
scene.
Says goodbye
You know-
to Jamie, walks around the corner. The mountain walks in first, him behind. I was expecting to see a lifeless Tyrion body go flying out of the room against the wall or something.
Right? I was like, no.
All of these, like, moments with Tyrion and Jaime, the two of they, I feel like they've never hugged. And this time I'm like, he's going to, like, face down Emperor Palpatine, basically. You're not going to give your fucking brother a hug, my man?
Through the eyes, you could see
Just
it
do
through
it.
the eyes.
Bros don't do
Through
that.
the eyes, they were like,
You're just gonna let it go.
definitely.
BS, bros, don't do that.
Mhm.
No, I'm saying in Game of Thrones, bros don't do that.
Well,
John
Ugh.
hugged Bran when he came home?
Yeah, but that's like blood brothers. I mean bros.
John doesn't know Bran is home.
Right.
John knows Bran is home. He
Oh,
just
no,
hasn't
that's
been
right.
back yet.
That's right. He
Seen
didn't
him.
go back. Never mind.
He
I'm
hasn't-
thinking of the hug he gave Sansa.
Well, all right. Here's my thing, though. Great scene. Tyrion could have died. Didn't. Cersei played him like a fiddle, though. Made it pretty obvious. Like, I'm pregnant. Look at my hands on my
Yeah.
tummy and my lack of consumption of that wine. Here's my
How
thing
did you
that
guess I was pregnant?
Here's the thing I just thought
I
of.
touched wine glass.
Go on.
Because at the end of the episode, we see awkward Tyrion.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what negotiations were made. We never saw like exactly how Cersei came to this determination. Did Tyrion betray Dany in some way? to preserve his
I think-
Lannister family.
They just cut the scene, or they
You're right. They cut the scene, and then it's Tyrion coming back, and
we're
then
like,
yeah,
Not saying a goddamn word, mind you.
no, but I mean, it's a possibility.
You know,
Well,
Yeah.
Danny has
Yeah.
always brought that up multiple times beforehand. Are you doing this just to protect your own blood? Kind of
You never
foreshadowing,
know.
maybe?
I mean, you never know. It does bring up a point.
yeah.
I feel like any deal he would have made gets rendered null when Cersei doesn't march north to help them.
There is that too.
Well, yeah, whatever he's promised her, if she doesn't hold up her end, she doesn't get shit.
Exactly. And I mean, the only way they're gonna find out about that is when Jaime finally arrives north and is like, "Yeah, I'm done with her, and she was
We have a problem."
bullshitting you."
Yeah.
We got a problem on top of that. But we'll get to that. While Tyrion was off, Jon and Dany were talking about, the little baby dragon skulls and all that stuff. And she's just like, "Hey, I respect what you did. Wish you didn't. I respect it." And they get into a whole talk about babies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like if
How
you
they
want
gonna
any
try to
like
make one?
any bigger foreshadowing, it's the fact that they've mentioned about 5 times in the last 3 episodes that she can't have children.
And then Jon brings up the
And who
best
just
point.
boned?
Yes, exactly.
Who's pregnant right now?
Jon Snow, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
That's
I can't
fair.
have children. Hold my beer.
Listen, he impregnated her with a look, like right even before they started doing it, just like
I know.
Who
I
told?
loved it too. Oh, who told you can't have children? Oh, the witch. Don't believe everything that people tell you.
It's like
don't
The-
believe fucking witches.
the witch that murdered my husband.
Challenge accepted.
What?
Well, the
Yeah,
witch,
well-
Danny kind of murdered him.
she
Yeah.
was getting 8
true.
inches
She
of stuff.
didn't know that what she asked of the witch. The witch basically lied.
Oh,
She
she
said, "I can."
smothered him with a pillow.
Oh, yeah. Well, after
Yeah, well,
he
the
was
witch
very, very
effectively
brain dead.
the witch turned him into a vegetable. I mean,
He was very brain
he was
dead.
effectively dead.
Yeah.
Effectively.
I don't know. No matter what, she was getting 8 inches of snow one way or another this episode.
God, that's been going around for a month now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bend the knee, bend, suck the dick.
And then he sucked the D.
That's what it is.
So the truce is
And
made.
then he sucked the D.
Yes, I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet. It's
I
hilarious.
have not seen that. I've seen all kinds of
Oh.
other goofy stuff, but not that.
That's great.
So that's it. Truce is made. Everybody's happy, and they go their separate ways, and all that stuff. On to the north, where now we talked about this. We talked about this last week. How we were afraid that the whole conflict between Arya and Sansa was at face value, and that it was, we were all hoping that this had to be a ploy, that they had to be playing Littlefinger while he's playing them, and all this other stuff. And Jon even said he might not watch the show anymore if that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Like, if this was just bullshit, stupid sister drama brought into
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, And for a smidgen, I thought it was going that way. Especially when Jon, wow, I'm completely back how many scenes. Especially when Littlefinger's going like, "I like to play a little game." And I'm like, if you say the game of faces, I'm going to punch you.
Me too, because then I was like, "Oh, he's definitely dead, and that's Arya." But
Yeah. But, I like to think, what's the worst thing a person could want? And then she starts going through the whole thing. Like, she could want me dead. She could want this. She could want that. And all this other stuff.
The
And then when-
paranoia starts building.
This paranoia starts building. I'm like, no, come on, guys, really. And then as soon as... And what does that make her? The Lady of Winterfell. And I'm like, okay. That was when I really was welled up with fear, because Sansa, you know for a fact that Arya does not want to be the fucking Lady of Winterfell. She doesn't want to be the Lady of
not.
anything.
no,
She never has. So, and I'm just thinking, if you fall for that, I'm fucking done. As much as I love this show. Not close.
And I
Well,
was reading it,
I
so was
applaud.
like, oh yeah, and he stays alive in the
I applaud how they freaking turned script on him so quick.
And it
oh,
wasn't...
how he tried to be like, oh, but I only wanted to look out for you, Sansa. Oh, what, by selling me to the Boltons? They were looking out for me, right?
I mean, that whole scene.
He intended that to go.
Oh, you
as
were looking
south
out for
bad
my
as it
father.
did.
It doesn't matter what he intended. He knew Boltons were bullshit. He knew they were evil. Like,
Of course he did.
I love
I hope
he
so.
didn't care. He
looking
doesn't
at my
care.
father. Oh wait, and then here comes Bran. Oh yeah, by putting a dagger to his throat, the same dagger you're saying is Jaime's. You asshole.
So
As soon as Sansa turned and was like, Baelish, how do you plead? I was just like, yeah.
I'm sitting there, she walks off the wall, the battlement or whatever, looks at the guard and says, "Have my sister brought to the Great Hall." And I'm like, no, come on, really, no. And then you see Arya brought in, they show everybody in the room. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? This bullshit is... And then there's Littlefinger. Like, I couldn't even finish the thought, and I was just like, hope is restored. Please, please, please. And then, just the way he... going around for the past, 6 months, there's been a reaction gif, whatever, of this blonde guy going, like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Littlefinger's face is the new, white guy reacting.
Oh yeah. I saw.
Just
that
like,
too.
how do you plead? He's like, how do you respond to these charges, Lord Baelish? And his face, he's just like, if you look at his face, his eyes dart back and forth. He's like,
Me?
what?
Is my dad here? No.
My second
No.
favorite
He's
thing
like, shit, I just
was
got played. But
Wait, hold on. Is this a candid camera show? Am I getting punked? with the
my
fuck?
second favorite thing was he ran up to the Aaron general
Lord Royce.
and was like, you know me? He's like, I just heard 2 people confirm you pushed my lady out of the moon door. Go
No,
fuck yourself.
worse. No, I just heard them confirm that you
they
pushed my
murdered Lord
lady
Aaron.
out the moon door, and you pushed, my liege lord, the guy I was pledged to for many years, and all the Lords of the Vale loved Jon Arryn. He was
Yeah.
he was the Ned Stark of the East.
Yeah.
Like, that was his thing. So, it's like,
Bro, dude.
not only did you kill my lady, you manipulated her into killing her husband. You started the whole fucking war in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, the Lannisters had their little machinations. They might have tried to do something to Jon Arryn because he was getting close to figuring out that Joffrey was, not a Baratheon.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting close, and they might have acted on something. Hell, we don't even know if Cersei might have given the order to Littlefinger, do something about this. But... I was so happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
God, his
that's-
comeuppance.
Yeah, and he laid the groundwork for his own destruction too.
He tried
Okay.
every...
Well, yeah.
He
I
tried
was just
every
surprised,
angle.
though, at the fact of Bran actually stating anything,
Mhm.
because I didn't know if he would actually do that or not, since he's been kind of like semi
Aloof.
heartless, or not heartless, just like stone faced.
Hmm?
Just on how he's been acting beforehand, like he hasn't given a lot of emotion.
No.
Bran,
Oh, Bran.
and then all of a sudden it's like,
Oh.
well, you killed my father. It's like, and now you're showing still the loyalty to the house.
I mean, he's
guy.
showing loyalty to the house, but he's, still doing it with a seeming lack of emotion.
And I mean, it's he's helping justice be done. I don't really know if he cares about that, but he certainly cares about something.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't recognize human emotion properly, but I mean, he's not completely heartless either.
Oh, God, Great, amazing how Littlefinger went through the gauntlet of emotions there.
Mm.
It's like, if we could speak alone, maybe. I loved your mother, yet you did this. I loved you more, yet you sold me to the Boltons.
Oh, I kept like vomiting in my mouth a little
know.
every
Can we
time he
speak-
said something like that. I was like,
Can we
"Ugh."
speak alone? I like to play a little
Well,
game.
when I
What's the
started,
worst
like,
thing a person could want?
Yeah.
It's like,
I love you. I
Give
love
me a
you so hard.
Hearing about that part, I was like, no.
I thought
I
he was
love-
going to demand a trial by combat for a second when he said, give me a chance to defend myself.
Oh my god, like they would no, that's not how things are done in the north.
No.
Nope, I love the swift execution. Literally
It's
just
like, give me a chance to
One
defend
little
myself.
thing,
Her face.
back.
Yeah. Her face was
Well,
just
I was
completely
thinking-
devoid of all, feelings. Like, no.
Nope.
Literally in tears. That's alright though.
Done.
It's like,
I knew it was coming.
and he's too focused on Sansa at that point, groveling for his life, that, yeah. And Arya just walks up and, sweet, goodbye.
Yep.
Bran was not wrong about that dagger.
Nope.
No, he wasn't.
Wiping away.
I have to agree with Daniela in chat, who just posted that praise on Aidan Gillian, the actor who played Littlefinger for the 7 years of Game of Thrones. He acted the shit out of that character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, did a really good job.
Wonderful actor.
And 7-Bit World brings up like he'd actually stand a chance against Arya. True, but he could name a champion to fight for him.
No, I think defend, he meant
Yeah,
prove his case. I
yeah,
think it
prove
was
his
not
case.
like a fighting thing. I think it was
Well-
like a evidence why I'm not a shitlord.
His first thought was, I
Nice.
demand escort back to the Vale safely.
It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not out of the Vale.
No.
Get me back there.
Definitely not. The veil
Yeah,
will
he was
not take him back.
Very.
He was looking to manipulate through words because at
He's
that
good-
point there was no one in
He's
that
good with
hall.
words.
I know, but yet again, there's no one in that hall that's going to be like, yeah, let me defend your honor. Everybody's going to be like, nope, go fuck
I just like
yourself.
him sitting, just the Lord's, I think it's Lord Royce. I forget. I might be wrong there. He's just standing there like, I think not. Just, no. You're fucked.
No.
Nope, you're
I felt really bad. I was like, please.
And I keep thinking back to like the chaos is a ladder,
Mm-hmm.
because the whole point of that speech when he gave it to Varys was the climb is the point of life, like just climbing up and up and up, and no matter how high he got, he would never have been satisfied.
Right, and that
It would
speech...
never have been a good point for him to like stop and like live. Like that wasn't an option for him.
And
There
I
was no
just rewatched that.
yeah.
Like, and I forgot, that speech was narrated over, like the whole Chaos with the Ladder conversation was narrated over, that was when Varys was trying, like him and Littlefinger were at each other, Littlefinger thought he had informants on Varys, Varys thought he had informants on Littlefinger, he was using Raz at that time, and that was when
Oh,
he gave
wow.
Raz to Joffrey to play target practice with. And that's what
I
that speech
forgot
was
about
narrating over, and I was just like, oh, God.
Mm.
Oh. Like, yeah, that's a lot, Bran bringing that exact, those wordings up, like, like that, you gave that speech after sending Varys' informant to get shot with a crossbow how many times?
Yeah.
Right, and obviously more so like he meant that he climbs the ladder through the chaos. Like that's what gets him ahead, is by causing chaos. I mean, but no one can live like that forever.
It's not sustainable.
It's not. It's like living the life of like a gangster. Like you don't live long.
No.
It's riches and bitches up front, but like even the guy, the mob fucking knows you got to get out of the game eventually. Sometimes you have to retire and actually be a waste disposal man. Or waste management, rather. I'm sorry. He
went.
You know where
Only
he
so long
fucked
you
up.
can keep robbing banks.
You know where he fucked up is that he stayed in Winterfell too long.
Yes.
He stayed still too long. He
did.
did the classic mistake.
That is true.
It's one of
He was
one of
definitely
those.
there too
It's
long.
like one of those bank robbers that's looking for that one last big score for him to go off
Yeah.
on the island,
Mhm.
and he thought Winterfell was going to be that one, and there was no way in Dante's Inferno he was getting out.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he had his own aspirations to get ahead. Hell, at this point, he was Lord Protector of the Vale.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. He wanted more than
Yeah.
that.
Wasn't enough.
Of course
Yeah.
he did.
Mm-hmm.
Could have just come on.
Well, he stated for a while that like his goal was the Iron Throne. Through and through, his goal was the Iron Throne. Through hook or crook, he was going to try to get there.
Right.
E-
Well,
There were many hooks and many crooks.
let's get on to... Let's see.
Oh no! Wait.
What?
We have to say, I loved Arya and Sansa's last little conversation they have with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it sort of ends with like, "You're still an annoying, weird little sister."
that was sweet.
I thought that was fucking adorable.
You still annoy me.
It's like, I don't think I could have survived what you went through. Yeah, you could have. That's like you're the strongest person I know. That was just adorable. The whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
Don't get used to me. Don't get used to me being nice to you.
Don't get used to it.
Not gonna happen again.
I just really hated him.
So, John and Danny decide to sail north together. They have to be seen as allies if they're going to be allied in the north. Now, going back for a second. Here. Where was I going? Other places. Right, back to King's Landing. Jaime's rallying everybody like, we're going to march north in 3 days. Like, that's what's happening here. And, 3 days is going to take at least a fortnight to get all the shit together. Yeah, we don't have that kind of time. 3 days, tops. And then Cersei comes in like, can I have a moment? What are you, a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
It's like, you really believed me when I promised all that?
And he's like, yes?
Yes, you gave your word to send all that. I'll say anything I gotta.
And I love how she's like, oh, well, you met with Tyrion behind my back, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, really?
He was ambushed. Like, that doesn't count as a meeting.
Right.
Right. But, hey, I hired the Golden Company, 20,000, soldiers, horses, even elephants. Like, and Euron Greyjoy's going to get them. Just that whole thing. And it's like, I made a pledge.
Very, very scary.
I made a pledge to go north. I'm going to honor that pledge. It would be treason, going against what your queen wishes, your queen orders. And Tyrion called her, really a bluff, but as Tyrion put it, it's like, you'd have a father if it wasn't for me, you'd have a mother, you'd have 2 loving children. I thought about killing you how many times,
Yeah.
So say the word, have him kill me, walks up to Sir Gregor like, and she doesn't. And then Jaime basically does the same thing, like, are you going to have me executed?
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing, she actually gives the nod and he draws the sword. I was like, oh no.
Question.
Yeah, I would
Okay, please.
Just quick one. Is short nod just pull the sword out and long nod is kill him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the vernacular here?
I really have no idea.
That seems
I
It's
never
usually
either.
Joey, show him his way out the door.
maybe like an up nod is just, take your sword out, and a down nod is kill him.
Explain the
Right. Now-
Now the up nod. The down nod is
So here's the
Throw
whole
like a
thing.
fish.
She's being
silly.
very dumb, and 7-Bit World in chat is saying she's being dumb for another reason.
She's just dumb.
As Jaime said, we can't beat them. So basically, we don't march north.
We don't match no.
We don't match north here.
it's
Either-
fucking
But Jaime's point, either the dead win, and they come south and kill us all, or
Danny's coming back.
Danny, they win, the North wins, and they come south and kill us all. Like, we can't fight the dragons.
Damned if you don't.
It's like, I saw them in combat, there's no way we can defeat them. The Dothraki, will just roll over us, and we haven't even fought the Unsullied.
Yeah.
So
Their
he,
army's already, like, gone, too.
so all that, and then she's all like, oh, the Golden Company, 20,000. But 7-Bit
And the
World's
other point
perfect.
too is
I
she
could buy
stated too.
armies.
She's like, the other houses are pretty much giving up on this whole fucking war. They pretty much just threw their hands up and like, shit, there were dragons. Fuck this.
We're done.
We're going back home.
They have seen 3 great houses wiped off the face of the earth. I don't think any of them want to be next.
Right.
I don't fucking blame them.
But she is being dumb, and in chat, 20,000 doesn't help against 100,000 plus undead soldiers. And
Money's nothing.
that number is only going to grow as they kill people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, maybe Cersei thinks that Dany's gonna win, and with Dany fighting, she's gonna lose soldiers and then have less of an army.
yeah, but her, Cersei did make one good point in that whole thing. Fire destroys them. If dragons can't stop them, how are we gonna help?
Yeah.
Well, right. It is
I mean-
a point.
That's a valid point.
Yes. I think she's
But-
still so blindsided in
Oh, she
there.
is. She's completely.
I mean,
She's like, oh.
the other thing is like the Iron Bank's favor is not a stable bet all the time because you make the wrong play, you say the wrong thing, you know, like
Go
whatever they
back.
say, they will fund your enemies.
Yeah.
They get.
You know?
They get their due, one way or another.
Right. So, you know, she's also, you know, the Golden Company is great and the Iron Bank support is wonderful, but like that could go. You know, what if they find out that the crown is now less stable because her brother left? I mean,
Just hit
I don't know. There's a million things that can go wrong for her,
right.
let alone the undeath.
But that whole point in like at the end of that scene that I was getting to, Jamie just like, I don't believe you, walks out.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
He called her bluff, and she folded.
Yeah, and not only does he walk out, he walks out and leaves the armor, the Lannister armor. Or is that the Kingsguard armor? No.
No, he was wearing the Lannister armor
Lannister armor. Okay.
at the time.
Did
He's
he
right.
see-
The
see, like,
Kingsguard are now the stormtroopers, I forgot.
Right, yeah.
and he's like,
Because
I
he's
don't-
just in normal freaking clothes, no armor. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
that Jamie's done. He's
Not
rage
wearing
quitting out of
Lannister
this
armor. He
situation.
covers the golden hand with a glove just to hide it. It's like,
I
why?
was expecting him to throw it, like
Like,
take it off. And
Yeah,
just
I'm
throw
thinking,
it.
I'm like,
I thought he was gonna do, but
and I'm like, why are you putting a glove on that hand? You don't have feelings in that hand. Oh, wait, that's right. You're hiding it. Like, you don't want to be reminded of it. And then it starts
Or he
snowing.
doesn't want anyone to see it.
No.
oh, I love the flurries, the
Watch him pull
foreshadowing
an ash,
that winter
you
has
know,
finally come to
An
an
ash from
end.
Evil Dead and just put a fucking blade on it.
He could.
Oh,
He actually said that.
That would be very cool.
When Qyburn first made the hand for him, he said a hook would be way more practical.
Oh, that's right.
Not wrong.
forgot he said that.
It's like, a hook would be far more practical than this.
Yeah, but imagine if he had a sword blade attached to that thing.
Yeah.
And then he
It is a
proceeded.
dominant sword hand.
Hey,
Yeah.
he could, going back to season 1, what
Back in
Sirio
time.
Farrell said. You know, the sword must be a part of your arm. You can't drop part of your arm.
You won't be able to drop that shit.
Here's the thing. He goes north. They give him a dragon glass attachment, an
Yeah.
obsidian dagger.
That'd be effective.
Yeah.
Long lady.
But I just love it.
Yo.
Everything is snowing.
I know. I love that foreshadowing.
At
I
7-Bit
think it
World,
was
he wants to know what song was playing during that snowing scene. It's the theme song, just changed
slower.
Oh, okay.
slower and like if sung by a choir.
It was so,
So-
pretty.
I do want to note the kind of weird poetic thing that happened. So, like last season when Jamie came back to King's Landing, it was burning, and this
Oh, when
season when he left, it was snowing.
Snowing.
So,
Okay.
Winter has finally come.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm thinking of it this way: the White Walkers in the Army of the Dead are kind of like the Zerg in StarCraft. They need the creep to move fast, so they need the winter to get to where they're going, right? So, like, the winter's gone all the way south. Like,
Oh.
what are you gonna do?
They also happen to bring snowstorms with them wherever they go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Uh-huh.
too. Can't they generate like
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
that's why Jamie's like, well.
one way or another?
About to be hitting
Rolling.
the old snowy trail. And it's Sam! Yay! Sam gets back to Winterfell. Goes, knocks on the door. I just love that. It's like
I love him.
Samwell Tarly. I didn't think you'd remember me. I remember everything.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Serious
Brandon
line.
Buzzkill.
No, but Sam with seriously the best line. He's like, I became the three-eyed raven. Oh!
I have no idea what that
I don't
is.
know what that means. It's like, thank you. Finally someone said it.
But he's like the polite friend that's like, oh, how great for you. Wait, hold on, what?
What?
Yeah.
So your degree's in landscaping.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay.
So what do you do?
And liberal arts as a minor.
They just love,
As a minor. Oh.
Well, you see, John, you can't major in liberal arts. Liberal arts encompasses a lot of different majors.
But he minored, so
Betty myself.
You know.
I imagine you could find someone who majored in the liberal arts, the word.
I don't know if that's
So,
a thing.
I don't know.
'Cause
I
I have a
do,
liberal arts degree, but it's in film.
Mm-hmm.
I need
I still-
to say,
Something.
Go ahead.
I need to say this. fuck, Sam. You didn't find that out.
Gilly found it
Gilly
out.
did.
But you know what? He did make a
No,
point.
shaking all
He
shreds
did-
and that.
Gilly was reading it, but he did have to transcribe it.
I just really want the scene, like, as an extra, of, like, them in the wagon and Gilly being like, so, I was saying it before, but you kind of blew it off.
Mm-hmm.
This
And now
seems-
you're taking credit?
What the hell, man? What
That's
the-
not cool.
That's not cool.
Why are men like this?
But just that whole thing, like, you know, is this something you could see? And then whoop, flips into the vision, starts talking about it, and he's narrating over why
Yeah.
John and Danny in bed together is the most wrong thing.
Hold on, because I forgot who said it, but that George Martin this is just having Jamie and Cersei be a thing. It's just been a long con to make an aunt and a nephew not look so weird. I kind of
It's
buy
like-
into that now.
Hey,
Yeah.
look back the Targaryen line. We're gonna go with some very notable ones here. We have, let's just go back in the show. We got Jaime and Cersei. They're twins. They were born 2 minutes apart.
That's the worst.
That's the face right there. Let's go back at the Targaryen line. They wed brother and sister for years. Aegon the Conqueror had 2 wives, both his sisters.
It's
at the same time.
The dragon line connection. The
Yeah, it was
strongest-
to keep pure blood and all that stuff
Yeah.
in the family
Yeah,
and
but
everything.
also
Which,
the
if you
parts
look
of
at
authorities.
control the dragons.
So they're
It's in the genes.
If
they're
you're
not
looking
even-
at actual Earth history, like that didn't work so well for the
I don't think
Russians.
Yeah.
The oligarchy, like that,
Yeah.
they started to get diseases pretty quick.
But as we
But-
talked about it multiple times, it also can cause deformities.
Mhm.
Well, we
Yeah,
Also-
we're talking about Tyrion.
Anton, you know,
Oh,
Aunt
yeah.
and nephew is not weird in the Targaryen sense, but
Yeah.
No.
also John's got a nice fresh infusion of Stark DNA into that equation.
Yes.
So
Lyanna.
maybe, I don't know.
Which we also find out they were actually in love. It wasn't the tale that Rhaegar raped her and
It
whatever.
wasn't what Robert
Everyone
Baratheon
thought.
made of it.
Yeah.
The whole thing was based on a lie.
Do you guys love how that flashback of showing their marriage, their hand fasting ceremony, that they put a brown wig on Daenerys on
It
Amelia?
looked like a
Clark?
brown, yeah. It
And
looked like a brown wig on Daenerys, and it looked like her brother.
Viserys.
It did look like Viserys. I did think that.
I looked
but
it up.
he was
It wasn't.
taller and not as lanky.
No, I looked it up thinking that
Oh,
if it was the
it's
same
like-
actor they used for Viserys, it was not.
Oh, no. It wasn't.
See for like 2 seconds. Why not?
No, but they definitely just recycled that wig.
Uh-huh.
It was the same wig.
That was the
Uh-huh.
same wig.
Yes.
They pulled a BBC moment.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's fine.
Yeah.
stupid side note: can those two be in the prequel show that they make inevitably?
We don't know how far
Is-
back that's going.
We also don't know what the subject of
It's
the
it's for me. It's not for anybody. It's just for me.
The
Because- I want
just for
to be
John.
happy.
Only John
Yeah.
gets to see it.
so
Just-
That's all.
oh,
Say.
yeah.
So I think I missed something for a moment because it kind of went briefly quick. When we got the scene again when he's going back in time during the pregnancy, what did she say again real quick? Was
She
his
said
real name?
his name is Aegon Targaryen.
Aegon.
Yeah, that's
What
what
a
I thought.
horrible name.
Aegon, what are we at now?
Okay, no.
I don't
Because-
remember how many there were in the books. I think he would be either the 4th or 5th Aegon Targaryen.
What
Yeah.
I thought she said his name was Edgar. I'm like, Edgar, that's such a terrible name. Why?
Aegon's even worse. No.
I think Aegon's a little cooler than Edgar.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Edgar is like your groundskeeper.
I mean, it also shares the name of a legendary conqueror, so...
yeah, and a crazy ruthless dude.
And he's the heir to the Iron Throne, and I don't know how Dany's going to react to that. I see 2 reactions. Either, what the fuck, or, hey, I was going to marry you anyway, so, we would be king and queen anyway.
Why not?
I'm in charge, though.
I don't know, because I don't think John's gonna want to rule the 7 Kingdoms.
He's not.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that type.
He's
Yeah,
not
but he'll still marry her.
Yeah.
Out of
He
respect.
may.
He's not the
Out of
type.
respect and sheer fact, you
Yeah.
know.
John doesn't seek power or influence. He just has it thrown at him.
He
Yeah,
barely
a
wants to be
lot.
king of the North. I mean,
I know he.
No, he doesn't.
Hmm
Not that
And
He does it out of duty. and
7-Bit World has
responsibility.
a great point, from Bookwise. Rhaegar was convinced that his son would be, the prince who was promised, the warrior of light reborn.
Well,
so-
Rhaegar thought he was the prince that was promised.
Well, initially, but he came to believe it would be his son. Like, the whole thing with Rhaegar
Okay.
Targaryen, his story is, he's bookish, he's, the smart one, he's learning and everything. He reads a whole bunch of old books, and I think it was at age, 6. He closes a book after finishing it, walks out into the yard, finds the Master-at-Arms and says, I need a sword to know how to use it. And from there, he was the, pinnacle of warriors.
my man dual wields longswords.
Did he duel wield longswords?
No, that was the Sword of the Morning. That was
that was
another
different.
psycho.
Oh, okay.
Not really psycho, but that was just a terrifyingly good swordsman.
If you're dual wielding longswords, there's something wrong with you. Either you're crazy in some way.
Sir Arthur Dane.
That was his name.
doing that.
Uh-huh.
You got to be crazy to dual wield longswords.
You got that, and you got to be a good swordsman. If Ned Stark, who is also a good swordsman and a
Right.
good combatant, says that you are the best sword fighter he has ever seen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Now at the same point too on this whole thing, getting back a little bit on it. How are they going to tell John?
good point.
Are they going to send him a raven like,
That's
"Hey,
his
by the
own-
way, you're actually Targaryen"?
Well, if he's coming north,
I think it'll
they're
be-
gonna see him and tell him there. I assume
Like, are they purposely going to
Um,
stop at Winterfell first before they actually go?
they might.
I think they have to. They need supplies.
They're going to need supplies.
Right.
And
Where
here's the
from.
thing. Are they going to get back before the Night King gets there? Because the Night King just melted a hole in the wall.
Yeah, I assume
that shit down.
Tormund is running on the top of the wall all the way to Castle Black as fast as he can.
No, he's just going to run to the... There's 19 castles. Castle Black's, almost in the middle.
Just get to the nearest elevator.
He's just going to get to
Oh,
the nearest
yeah.
unmanned castle and hope that there's still a usable way down.
still works.
Jump.
Yeah.
We'll hop.
Nah, he's
Skip
gonna.
and jump.
He's,
Well, either way, I feel like he would want to go to Castle Black because then there would be people to tell and not
Yeah. Get
snowy
there.
north to run through.
he's gonna be like a pirate on a ship. He's just gonna put a dagger in the ice and just slide all the way down like it's a sail.
Yeah,
Well-
in the meeting they said they're going to Winterfell to prepare. The problem is that was before... Bran knows about the Night King coming through the wall because he was doing his whole Control
He was
20
there,
Ravens.
yeah.
So,
Well,
things change.
the only thing I'm thinking is, as far as, I mean, look, Tormund's this ain't gonna catch up. He's fine, guys.
No.
Relax.
Yeah.
Other thing, I think it's going to take the Night King a little longer to reach Winterfell than it's going to take Jon and them because just because of how fucking slow they seem to travel in the north. Those
Yeah,
those
he's-
idiots.
He's also got a lot of
Was that
men to make sure are going the right way.
solid?
Yeah, I mean, look, if he just hightailed it on the dragon,
Yeah.
he'd be there
He'd
in a day
make
and a half. But
all of his,
doubt
his
he's gonna
hordes
do
of army, his army of hordes.
Mhm.
Undead.
yeah,
And
exactly.
undead. They can't walk that fast.
Which we have to talk about this dragon because I was convinced it was going to start spitting ice.
It's electricity. No, I'm just kidding.
It was
This
blue
motherfucker
fire.
breathes blue fire, which means it's hotter than the other dragon's
Yeah.
fire.
Oh, hold on.
Or it's magic.
Of a
It-
flame.
Hold on.
We're going to go with magic, but
Or it's magic.
John, go ahead.
Well,
We're holding on.
Because one thing, real quick, they have to get to fucking Winterfell because they need to forge more Obsidian weapons, and for the love of God, arrow tips. That was the one
Yeah.
thing. Second thing, that wall did not melt; it was blown apart.
Yeah.
Very
The
it-
true.
fire may not be hot. That was like Goku shooting a Kamehameha out of his mouth. A lot.
So you think
right?
it's force, not fire?
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's going to be freezing when it touches a living thing because
That's a
George
good
R. R.
point.
Martin wrote a book about ice dragons for children. And in his book about ice dragons for children, he said that their frost breath can freeze you just like that. Just like Drogon can burn things just like that. I think Viserion going to be able to freeze things just like that.
I mean,
Probably.
ice doesn't
Yeah,
bring
I mean,
down
it
an
did-
ice wall,
It
but
just looked like
But sheer
the whole
force.
thing was the wall was made with spells and magic imbued in it. Dragon
Right.
fire is inherently magical, even undead dragon fire. So
Right.
So high.
It was like a giant dispel blast.
they're just gonna go with the whole, what is it? The whole thing. They're just gonna go with the whole ice. And yeah, I know ice dragons breathe ice, and they're huge in the books and everything like that. But they have gone so far away from the books at this point.
Here's the thing too. Viserion seems faster than he was before he died.
Mm.
He looks like he's flying at least 2 times faster.
Good point.
He was.
Either that, or they were just trying to I don't know.
I don't know,
So
man.
yeah,
I think
dragons.
being dead has done wonders for this dragon.
Oh, definitely. Anyway,
Possibly. Made him stronger.
He's
Yeah.
definitely stronger, and I think he's faster.
7-episode season wasn't enough, in my opinion, but I was pleased.
There's 3 hours.
Okay, so we have one more season left, and
Yes.
that's giving me paranoia.
6 episodes only.
We have
My
like
brain is coming up with like
2016.
crazy theories now because I can't see a way that everything can end in 6 episodes.
I know.
Well-
I
Unless-
feel like it's gonna be rushed. And
Unless they lose. And Bran goes to the north and goes back in time, and it's the closed loop, and he's the 3-eyed raven that teaches Bran, and we do all this over again. The closed loop is the only thing that makes sense to me at the moment.
oh my god.
I
Well,
mean-
it's even
Right?
where we have 2-hour
I hope
season
not.
finales.
Or each episode is like an hour.
2 hours? That's the only way. Every
Mhm.
episode's 2 hours.
Well, I don't know. They might. I think they're extending. I think it's not coming out next year. I think it's gonna be.
It's supposedly they're going to start shooting. I forget when I read when they were going to start shooting. I think later this end of this year, and then they're going to. They believe with all the post work that's needed, it's not going to come out until 2019.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and also like funding as a Westworld and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
And just the timing.
The
Westworld
timing,
kinda
yeah.
usually
Timing.
at the same time.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially to make a show like this. Yeah.
So
But-
I've already seen a boatload of theories about how things are going to go down, but I'm just going to leave it at wait and see. The only thing we know for sure is that the show is that George R. R. Martin told the show, runners how it's going to end.
And do what you want, kind
Mhm.
of. Leave it up to you.
Right.
They lose. It's a closed loop. I'm sticking to my theory.
I mean, but 7-Bit
Yeah.
World does bring up the ending is supposed to be bittersweet. Martin already said so it's going to have good parts and bad. They'll triumph,
good.
but at a great cost.
So we're not gonna be like, oh my god, how ripped out. Yes.
Danny and or John will die.
And
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Cersei
a whole
will be dead.
plot point in the books that
7-Bit's
someone's
comparing it
theorizing.
to Lord of the Rings, and while Lord of the Rings is like semi-bittersweet, everybody
Everyone's
lives.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think this can
It's a
end with
Lord of the
everybody
Rings is a
living.
pretty good
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
ending. Ish.
The only sad part is that Frodo has to leave his friends.
hmm
Sorry,
Right.
spoilers if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
So technically, like he went to the what is
Yeah,
it?
but he
Well-
basically lives forever in heaven. So how bad is that, right?
True.
Yeah.
He still died.
One
I was-
more season, and then yeah.
More. Oh, we have to wait so long.
This was a good season. I mean, I don't know if it seemed rushed or not. A lot of people are saying it seems like they're just rushing through the story at this point, but
I could see how people would say that, but it's not too quick
Mhm.
and pushy.
I don't know how I feel about it. It went pretty quick, but yeah.
One of my favorite.
Whole lot of craziness.
Nobody
Wanna-
liked Littlefinger. Suck it up.
There are people who like.
There are people
No.
who like Littlefinger.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm at a loss for words here, like, of what to say about it other than, give it to me now.
I know.
Yes.
I watch
yes. Now.
Leak it once it's done. I'll contact somebody at a.
But is there anything we missed for this episode? I mean, like, we're on that part of the episode. Yeah, we're just like, this is for one episode. I want to talk about so much more, but anything else? Did I miss something?
I think we touched everything. Touched upon everything.
Nope.
Well, all right
Good.
then. So if there's nothing else, I believe that's our show. Yeah, okay. Cleo, where can they find you?
They can find me at Cleomoto. Twitter and places.
John, where can they find you?
You can find me at No More on Twitter.
Pat and Michelle, where can they find you?
When I said the thingy over there on Twitter. Or in time and space.
Space.
Swimming?
You're swimming.
I am swimming through space.
That works. You can find me on Twitter at Philidrin. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You could follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching. And
In like
farewell.
2 years.
2 years.
See you soon!
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's going to be a long time.
It's gonna be a long soon.